It was in Libya. While we were landing into Tripoli, I could see the bomb going off. Literally, I could see that. When you see that, you might not go back.
Common person will not see, will just see news or something. What is running in your mind?
When you're on an air ambulance as a doctor, we say the doctor is the commander-in-chief.
Actually, travel is your routine. How do you not skip your routine? Like, how do you maintain that balance even when you travel? Or do you also cheat?
We were waiting for the patient and this civilian car started approaching our aircraft in full speed. We thought yes, this is it. We are gone.
Which is memorable, I can't forget this. Or probably the person was special, or probably the entire journey was crucial. So is there something like that?
This was airlifting or...
How was your day?
Busy since morning and pretty intense. Yeah, we start our routine every morning at 9:30, where we have all the offices in India connect up. It's called the business call, and in fact today we started off with the medical call, where all the doctors from all our units connect up. So the doctors from Abu Dhabi, paramedics from Abu Dhabi will connect up. Then our doctors from Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad, all the bases connect up with all the paramedics. And this is a medical call is a weekly call. So it's called a debrief call. That means we go through all the cases they've done and we'll try to see if there was any issue. And if there was an issue, how we correct it.
Okay.
So it's like an ongoing process. And we have been doing this since last 9 years. And so every single transfer we do, we learn something new. If you look at our aerodynamics, our aero-medical field, it's a very dynamic thing. It's not like a hospital. We have the same team and same security guy when you walk in to smile at you, or your same colleagues. Every single day, your colleagues are different. The receiving hospital is different. The referring hospital is different. The airports are different. Aircrafts are different. Pilots are different. Ground handlers are different. Different countries we enter, different state we enter, different cities. So in this process, no matter how perfect you are, there's always something you can improve upon. It's not that there's something wrong, but what you can do to become better. Because of this, today we stand as one of the best air ambulance services of the world, not just India.
Amazing. So you're saying that there is not going to be a specific routine, like say normal corporate functions, there is a scrum meeting, there is a stand-up call, task, to-do list. So it's not going to be like that.
No.
Every day is different, is it?
No. Every Wednesday is our medical call. But every day, 9:30, all the offices connect up, where we discuss all the patients. We discuss all the aircraft that is getting deployed, which teams are going for which call, and what are the specific challenges we are having. Is there any issue with the families? Is there we kind of discuss over last 24 hours how many calls we got, who's going for which transfer, what are the logistical issue. Every day we do this, 9:30, no matter which part of the country we are in. Even if you have to wake up at 3 and take the call, we do take. And that 9:30 call is fixed. And again, with all the time zone differences, we travel quite a bit for work as well, for business, for patients. But at this, it doesn't stop. We have to do that call, and at least among 2 or 3 seniors we have, one of them will be leading the call. So it's absolute that 9:30 call is necessary. Once that 9:30 to 10:15 this call ends, and 10:15 we start discussing our Dubai base issues, because Dubai base was been we set it up 3 months ago. It's doing very well. I'll talk about it a bit later. And we are serving the entire Gulf and taking patients to US, Europe, bringing them back as well, and China, Singapore. We are literally there, quite a bit of geography we cover. And that's a huge JV we have gone into with a listed company there. So we have a dedicated aircraft doing the transfer. And again, that particular aircraft which is used for Dubai transfer is also Abu Dhabi Gulf transfer is one of the best air ambulances in the world as well. So yeah, and then starts my 11:30 call, where the entire Dubai team joins.
Okay.
Because that's a totally different discussion, where we at least 10 people presenting the cases, again discussing the same thing what we do with the India call, we do with the Dubai call. And in between, we keep getting calls for patient airlifts, emergency calls. It can be from families, from the doctors, transplant surgeons. It could be government calling us. If they're emergency, we deal with it right away. But if it is non-emergency, we'll push it to after. Like, if the hospital want to tie up, then we will say, okay, let's go talk about at 12 o'clock. So this is the reason why I gave you time today at 12:30.
Okay.
By then, at least my routine calls should have done. And then, because we make very important decisions. We work for the Department of Health there. Entire Department of Health contract is with us in Abu Dhabi. So it's a very important and a very tough contract. The compliances are million in that. So, yeah.
So before me asking about your the Dubai expedition or the Abu Dhabi, you were naming a lot of countries,
Yes.
and you also stated that there's going to be a lot of travel. So for me personally, or at least for my friends and for my team, so when we travel, it's basically a cheat day for us. It's a cheating, basically skipping out of the routine, diet, it's okay, live it. Or same, no exercise, no yoga, no meditation, nothing. So if you involve your actually travel is your routine. So how do you not skip your routine? How do you maintain that balance even when you travel? Or do you also cheat? How it is?
You don't believe this if I tell you. Before I have my shower, do puja, I don't even drink water.
Wow.
So, and that has been it has been like this since I was probably born as well. I can't even remember a day where I just woke up, had a quick breakfast and then had a shower.
Our day sometimes starts with the coffee even before brushing.
No, not even a drop of water until this. So this is, and also being a vegetarian, it's a bit it's not easy to find food wherever we go.
Whenever we travel, right? Especially out of India.
Yeah, exactly. So if I have to land in a different country, I'll go, or if I'm going into a hotel, check in and then have a shower and do this. But if I'm in air, we can't decide what's happening because that kind of messes up your timing. We don't know which country to follow.
Travel,
yeah, exactly. And then if I have a transit, again, it's a problem. But if I'm stationary, no matter which country I've landed or I'm traveling, this is the routine. So yes, it is not easy to give away. And meditation, you can do the best meditations I've done at 40,000 feet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So when you're sitting, you just sit and...
But mostly when you're flying, it's like jet lag, or you don't all the boundaries, your biological clock is stopped is what, at least to me.
True. It's there. But again, I have found a way of sleeping well on the plane. So I don't talk to anyone. I'll prefer to eat before I board. So I don't eat anything. So it's almost like do not disturb me, kind of a board on my head. So I just sleep, get a very good sleep. So when I land, I'm fresh in the country, whichever I land.
Awesome.
So because 99% of the time when we land, we straight head to a meeting. Have a quick shower and head to a meeting. There's nothing like, I get some rest. It has never happened. And even when you're boarding as well, we just straight from the airport come to... so I don't know, probably got used to getting the body clock to sit. I don't know what internal damage it is doing. But so far been lucky, nothing it is just...
We don't see any damage. You are still healthy, so I don't think there is a damage.
Thank you for that,
On an average, say we have a screen time of 3 hours minimum a day.
Yeah.
So what is going to be your air time when we say probably in a month on an average?
It depends. This month, I just came back from UK last, I think 10, not even 10 days, I think a week ago. And then avoiding some travel this month because, again, heading to Mexico for an international travel insurance conference. That's on 29th. And then from there, go to Delaware for a US setup base because governor himself is giving us a space in the airport to set up an office, and then probably go to UK and then come back. So there are times when you end up traveling 15 days in a month. There are times when you travel at least again, I went to, in between all this, I was in Hyderabad one day, I was in Delhi for 2 days. So the travel is never it's a part of a life.
You don't really have a base, right? Where are you based out of? Probably the air.
Yeah, that's what my mother says. You should have a room in the airport. Why do you even come home?
Exactly.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a part and parcel of the game. And I hate traveling. And for the
Oh
person
my
who
God.
hates traveling, who hates sightseeing,
Such an irony there.
I know. I've been to like some 55 countries. I've never gone on a sightseeing trip.
Oh, is
I
it?
just hate it. Like I will say, I can look at the Eiffel Tower on my phone. Why should I go see it?
You know,
Like,
travel enthusiasts will
yeah,
really
I
be
know,
like
I
seeing it,
know.
you like, why are you wasting your
I
time?
know exactly. I don't know. I think that sightseeing is one thing which I know. And again, like even if you're on holiday, you want to relax, but the phone's always on. There is someone reaching out, and there is always a guilt that you turn off your phone and that person who's calling, the number he's calling is only mine. Like, he doesn't know any other. Like, there are not 100 air ambulance companies. And he might lose that opportunity to reach out on time to me, and that might compromise someone's life. So that guilt is always in mind. So you like enough, you ought to answer. Even when you're in air, we connect up to the Wi-Fi. We are
Okay.
there checking the messages, making sure there's nothing going wrong or some complicated transfer is happening, my team might need. So it's always a constant process. So you never switch off. No matter you're on holiday, you're in relaxing, or that is. And a lot of times you cut short a holiday and fly for work.
Like you said, there are going to be, a lot of requirements, say, people calling. So we have read, like we have came across that you have been into different war zones as well, like to airlift people. So can you just walk us through, especially recently, I think in Dubai?
Yeah.
So can you walk us through what was the scene, what happened, how did you do, how did your team come into picture?
Yeah. So I will talk about like my first war zone experience. It was in Libya. So as we had to airlift a patient from there to bring it to London. This was when I was working in the UK in the air ambulance. There was a young chap. The history of what we had was a young chap has severe facial injuries and head injury. He needs to be brought to UK for further treatment from Libya. So when we, it was a Learjet aircraft. It's one of the fastest. It's like a war, it's like a fighter jet. It is used as a fighter jet, but it's converted as an air ambulance. That's one of commonly used air ambulance. It's called a Learjet.
What is that?
Learjet.
Learjet.
Yeah, it's one of the fastest and a sleek, economical. It's a beautiful aircraft. So it was a Learjet. So we landed, while we were landing into Tripoli, I could see the bomb going off. Literally, I could see that. So landed into Tripoli airport, opened the plane door. You can see civilians sleeping inside the airport. And there were like aircrafts from Emirates, Lufthansa, and many other aircrafts which were like abandoned there. Totally run down. Probably they landed and maybe the troublemakers there didn't let it take off, or they got into trouble, they couldn't fly back. God knows what has happened. So we could have been in the same situation, right? So we see that when you see that, it just make you think like that's it, you might not go back.
What does, what's running in your mind? You're seeing that your bomb is going on, like you're seeing something which a common person will not see, will just see on news or something. What is that? What is running in your mind?
The first thing you fear is not for yourself. First thing you fear, when you're on an air ambulance as a doctor, we say the doctor is the commander in chief. Because we'll decide when to take off, when we have to do emergency landing, when, a lot of decisions are made by us and the pilots follow that. Of course, they look at their own aviation safety as well. But at the same time, a lot of decisions are made by us. Like, until I say we are safe to take off with this patient, they can't just take off. So in the UK, that's how we operate. Like, you are the commander in chief. So when you are flying into these conflict zones, first thing you worry as a leader is that your team safety.
Absolutely.
You literally forget that you are what is about yourself. You always think like, okay, my God, am I putting my entire team at risk? How am I going to protect? What is my contingency plan? How am I going to get out of this situation? Will I be able to give a good care to this patient? What protocols I need to change to make the patient safe? Do I need to bring my clinical practices which I've learned all my life, or should I say no? Let me deviate from the clinical practice a little bit and take the patient and get out of here first. So there is we call it we always stabilize the patient before we fly. On ground. But there are times when stabilizing on ground is more dangerous because you don't want to spend time there. You just want to take board and just get out of that place. So such decisions in deviation of protocols only you are able to make. looking at the entire situation, like, pilots flying duty time restrictions as well. They're allowed to fly only 8 hours. And if I'm going to take my own time stabilizing the patient on ground, then the pilot's flying time will get compromised, and you can get grounded in that country for another 14 hours, because until they get their mandatory rest period. So these kind of decisions are have to be made. So you literally forget about yourself. You just say let me first give my priority to my team and my patient, and then take them safely back to wherever you came from. That plays on your mind. And then you bomb and everything. Of course, it scares you. After Libya, when we landed, we saw the civilians inside the aircraft. Inside the airport. We are waiting for the patient. Inside the airport, have you seen a civilian car coming in? Inside an airport. So we were waiting for the patient, and this civilian car, some kind of a sedan, started approaching our aircraft in full speed. And we thought yes, this is it. We are gone.
A civilian car inside the airport, how come?
So we didn't understand it either. How can a civilian car enter the airport at such a high speed? There were no security, no policemen, no we have CISF here. No one airports are the most regulated places, right? No one can just enter. But there's a car driving to the aircraft, to the tarmac, straight approaching us. So my flight nurse turned the locator on, it's where you turn that thing, it will locate wherever we get abducted or whatever it is. It's a small device we carry in our bag. So she turned it on. I told her, this is the first thing they're going to take it away from me.
Basically like an SOS.
Yeah, they can throw it anywhere. But anyway, so I could see the fear factor among all of them. But in such situations, you have to play brave, no matter how scared you are, because the minute you get scared and panic, it's a ripple effect. Everyone will start panicking. It's not just in this situation, even at the hospital or when we are looking after a patient. If a patient crashes or gets sick, you have to hold it up as a critical care specialist, and you have to show that composure. If you panic, everyone else will panic. All your juniors, all the nurses, all the staff, families, everyone panics. That panic will kill the patient then. Because when you are under panic, your performance level goes down. So you have to hold that up. That's exactly what I did. I had to just think, okay, let's see who they are. And then it was a small sedan, literally some 11 of them got out of that. 11 of them. And then again, they were all dressed, some of them in shirts, some of them in vest, some of them in shorts, some of them in kurta, some of them in the Pathan suit.
Highly sus.
Yeah, this is okay, not just a car. This is coming full of people. God knows what weapon they're carrying. We didn't have a clue who they were. Before we landed in Tripoli, we actually didn't know, because we always assume we are going to airport. The airport is a safe, and we didn't get. Normally we go to hospital, we pick the patient, and then come to airport and we fly off, because we don't take handover at the airport. Sometimes they come in such bad state, we don't get that chance to stabilize the patient. So always do bed-to-bed transfers. But for this transfer, we didn't get the insurance to enter the country.
Hospital,
country, leave the airport.
Okay.
So that's why we were waiting at the airport. And because of the facial injuries, we are all ready to put this patient on ventilator, because their face will swell up, the airway will close. So we need to stabilize their airway before we take off. So clinically, we were fully prepared. And this bunch of guys start walking again now, not only just approaching, walking. So we were just standing there. For some reason, we got a communication from somebody there, friends and family of the patient. We said, okay, thank God. But again, we don't know how safe they were. The next thing we get we're still waiting for the patient to come, still waiting on the ambulance to arrive. Guess what? This big 4x4 comes, again ripping apart inside, and comes to the aircraft. Now that the other one stopped at the tarmac, 200 meters from there. This one comes right next to aircraft, almost inches away from the aircraft. They stop this one, and it's not an ambulance. Ambulance, we know, it's a patient. It's just, this has come so close to us. We are thinking, oh my God, now what next?
Now we are gone.
And dust covered, totally in bad condition. No way you can call it an ambulance. It's a black SUV which came. and then open the door. That's the patient. One of them was a patient.
Thank God.
I know. And the plan was to get the patient to put him on a ventilator there and just fly, I mean, stabilize him and fly at ground level. Because inside the aircraft, cabins are very small. We don't get enough room to do lot of interventions. So we always prefer to do, sometimes we use an ambulance to do. Sometimes we use the tarmac to do on a stretcher, a trolley stretcher, and things like that. Here, no room. When you're sitting in, you came in a car, and then we said, fine, we just get him boarded and we fly off. So we changed the protocol not to do any procedures there, because
want to wake in this place.
All of us, the one thing that was on our mind is let's get out of this place. And it was very funny. We took over inside the airport. I just wanted to check the patient is the same, because we need to check the identity check. I took his passport and looking at him. His injuries has happened on particular day, and his passport was done one day before.
Oh my God.
And his visa was done one day after to UK, and a Libyan citizen. So there's something so fishy, and his injuries didn't match what he was telling us how the injuries happened. He said his car rolled over in the sand dune, but it's all facial injuries. Literally they are it's almost somebody punched, and that face was fully distorted. So anyway, he was a patient. I have to treat him as a patient. I don't know whoever he was. I just brought somebody to UK.
Okay, so
yeah, we transferred him to London.
Wow,
And
okay.
he was if you're looking at, he looks like a very poor chap. He looked because he's wearing worn out Hawaii chappal. That's the only property he came with, and he held it all throughout the transfer. And the transfer cost was nearly 100,000 pounds, and treatment cost estimation was 200,000 pounds.
Oh my God.
So I have no idea what exactly was going on there. So we had to respond to a patient. We responded. We brought a patient. We can't think laterally in terms other than outside your patient care. So that
looks
was
like a scene. We can script this somewhere.
It is. I still remember that guy's face, what he was wearing, his chappals, his watch. He had one watch on his analog watch, and then I can run that entire thing in my mind, scene by scene,
We
scene
can
by scene.
picturize it as well now, as you say.
Yeah, I know. I can give an AI and say, make a movie out of it. Like a bomb going on, landing. This paid.
Wow,
It was scary. Yeah.
Crazy.
But I've been to a few war conflict zones, landed in Mauritania, where the minute we landed, the security, it was manned by their army.
Mm-hmm.
They literally pulled out all their machine guns, and they came like this.
Okay, as you landed.
As we landed, and we were and then I know it was.
Though we
scary.
know that we are safe, still it's very terrifying.
It's very
Somebody
terrifying.
pointing a
Yeah,
gun at
exactly,
you.
it was. And we are foreigners. End of the day, we are not localites, so anyone can pull a trigger, and that's it. You're gone, and they don't have to answer to anyone. Some aircraft landed, I just shot them. Yeah, okay, national security. Yeah, again, it's not that they came into hospital and shoot you. We have gone into their country, and then we had to get this patient. He was a Romanian national. He was on a ship, so he fell sick. So they decided to dock the ship at the closest location was the Mauritania for that ship. So they offloaded him, and he was in the hospital. Here, we wanted to go to hospital and bring. We got the license as well. Oh my God, that was, you can't, Indians have no idea how lucky we are to be here. People will just complain.
I'm thinking the same right now.
Yeah, these countries, when you go into, you'll realize, how lucky we are. Seriously, that hospital didn't even have a lift. It had ramp, and the ramp turned acute like this. So you can't take a stretcher, you can't turn a stretcher. So to lift a stretcher and turn the patient on that. And we had these live electrical wires hanging out of the window.
God.
It was like a horror scene you entered. And then I just wanted a syringe. I didn't want to open up my kit because I didn't know that guy was highly infected with a lot of rashes. So we didn't know what exactly that infection, a lot of things we had to put in place. We had a brain infection as well. His conscious level was very low. there's some bed in the corner of a room, like he's curled up and he was sitting there, and so wanted to put some IV lines, bring on oxygen before taking. My flight paramedic started arguing with me, no, we'll put him on ventilator here itself. I said, no, not in this place, like, the cleanliness and everything. We are going to put him, like, let's take him into airport when we'll do the, I mean, we'll get him stabilized there. And I just asked for a syringe. They were like, when we went in, 100 people came to the ward. 100, like half of them were half hospital staff. We don't know who the other half were. Literally people flocked. Then I just asked, can I get a syringe please, a 5 ml syringe, because I wanted to put a line and flush it and keep it ready in case if I had to do an emergency en route to hospital. Everyone disappeared. I don't know what they understood.
Okay.
What
does syringe mean in their country?
I don't know what exactly they took it as. I asked.
Okay.
Suddenly they disappeared. I mean, it's so hard, like, comprehend what they are thinking, what you are saying. Is it right, or did they take it as an offense?
So you don't go with translators in the local languages?
No, how can you take translators? Like, we're going into different countries, and then they all disappeared. So again, to get them back, because we need to take this patient out. It was only I was there in a paramedic, right? We can't lift this patient. He's kind of a heavy guy. He's a Romanian. So we had to wait for this guy to appear again, and where you go looking for them in that hospital? And like, that hospital was so run down.
This is when we realized that English is not universal yet.
No, not at all. I've been to, Italy, Spain, France, of course, Mauritania, Libya, Greece. Nowhere English is spoken. And one thing, I used to get these notes, and they're all in the local languages. The notes come in. So for some, because the Latin is something common language for the medical terms, at least 80% I could understand. Although officially I didn't translate and tell them, yeah, I've understood 100 things. But to my understanding, I used to understand most of the languages. As long as the script is in English, I would get a gist of it.
Understood.
I could get a gist, okay, this person's infection, this person's conscious is low, he's got a heart problem or something like that. 80% to my understanding I used to understand, because you also a bit of a context, right? And so many medical words are in Latin. So that was a blessing when going to different countries.
Okay, they say it is Greek and Latin, but
fortunately
you
it is Latin,
Latin.
because Latin is a lot of medical words in Latin. Great. So there will be few spellings here and there. Give me a script in English, that's all I need. So,
have you been to Pakistan as well?
Yes.
Is it? Okay, I was randomly asking. Okay.
So Pakistan returned.
Okay.
You remember that,
so
when people used to say, is the US returned, is UK returned?
Okay.
Now everybody's US returned. Now I can say
nobody can say you go to Pakistan.
Yeah, let me say, how many can say I'm Pakistan returned?
So what was that scene like?
So it was literally before the surgical strikes.
Oh man.
And we landed in Karachi to airlift a patient. And again, same thing. When we landed, they just had all their guns standing
that too,
there.
I think you have the Indian identity also?
Yeah, of course. It's an Indian registered aircraft also, right? They will have an intimation. It is, but someone can just get naughty. Who cares?
Yeah,
anyway, at the end of the day, it's an Indian aircraft.
Exactly.
People will never, I'll be a hero if I do this. That's a mentality, right?
Correct.
It is, end of the day, it's an enemy country, enemy soil. There's nothing called 100% protection. So we landed to airlift this lady who was coming for a lung transplant.
Okay.
And again, we didn't get insurance to get into the country. So waiting for her in Karachi airport. But anyway, we convinced them, they were okay. Once you get to know them, they become a little friendly because we have so much in common. We weren't waiting. But at the same time, your heart was racing, I want to get out of here. Because God knows when they have their change of mind.
Because in India, I think we all have this perception, I think a narrative that is set right in our predetermined, okay, this is how Pakistan is.
Yes.
So I think that pumps more.
No, you're in a zone where you're not liked. If I'm going to UK, I have friends, Pakistani friends in UK, but in the UK, you're on there's a neutral zone, and they are also there as a visitor or to study or train. Correct. So I have a few Pakistani friends, that's fine. But in their area, on their soil, your heart is always at risk, and you're like, oh my God, hope they all behave and they like me. And of course, they're nice people. I find them to be everywhere. Here, at the end of the day, they were Indians at one point, so they're nice. But you never know. And we wanted to get out as soon as possible. It was getting like late evening. A patient comes. She comes and her brother has forgotten the passport at home.
Oh no.
That extra 1 hour we had to wait.
It's like,
was
why me? Why it's always me?
Why should it happen? Like when this is a country where it's not like Switzerland, like, let me stay for another hour and
Exactly.
see some Alps and enjoy the view.
Exactly.
No,
Libya, you have to stay long.
Yeah.
Now Pakistan, Karachi or where?
Karachi, it was Karachi.
You have to stay long.
Yeah. I want to go. No. Here comes this guy comes without his sister's passport. Again, he goes back to his city to get it. Karachi airport is quite far, I think, from the city.
Okay.
Yeah. So
No idea, not been there.
yeah, now maybe they're little better, but that time also it was quite a bit. It was not one of the poshest airport you see.
Okay.
And then a patient came, and then we took off, and this girl was so sick. You take even for 5 seconds she breathes, her oxygen saturation goes down.
Okay.
And she can have a cardiac arrest on board. And imagine carrying a Pakistani national with a cardiac arrest. And again, when we landed in Chennai, the security clearance to get a Pakistani into country, although she was a patient, it was crazy. And brother had to go to immigration, and we had to wait with her, every minute she could deteriorate and die on us. She was so fragile. She has severe lung disease. She didn't have any lung in her left to breathe. So we were supporting from outside, and she had a condition called interstitial lung disease. So you can't put them on ventilator, because if they go on ventilator, they never come out of ventilator. But at the same time, so quickly they flip into that situation where you have to put on a ventilator. It was pretty stressful, and the only thing that saved me the entire journey from keeping her alive was Salman Khan.
Salman Khan?
Yeah, because she liked Salman Khan, and I don't watch movies. Still, I had to put I have to think about all the Salman Khan things I've ever known to keep her awake and keep her breathing, keep her not getting her distracted, panic. She starts panicking or things like that. So we entered India, and I think the very next day of the surgical strikes, we were thinking if we had got delayed there and surgical strike.
I'm not sure they would have ever let your aircraft fly.
What aircraft, they would have lit us.
India's surgical striking. Exactly. You are here for surgery.
And
so this whole.
But after surgical strikes, we took her back and left her also and came. Because she went back. She landed up in Apollo Hospital, Apollo Chennai, and their neighbor in the hospital, guess who? Was Jayalalitha.
Oh my God, that period, 2016.
Same time, and she panicked because number of security guards and the intense situation there, and outside people
were in commotion.
That I think they just she panicked and she said I want to go back. I don't want a lung transplant. I want to go back because you don't speak the language. It's a foreign country. It's not a. This girl panicked and she said, I want to go back without lung transplant. So we take her back after surgical strikes. So, yeah.
So has a transplant happened?
No, she didn't wait. She didn't because she just panicked about the entire thing. So because the whole situation was pretty intimidating for her, I'm sure. Crazy. Especially when you don't speak the language. What have you seen?
Here, surgical strike here in Pakistan. Here saying
Libya
Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu in a bed.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
happened to interact or something?
No. We didn't want to even go and so it's privacy and confidentiality, right? Yeah. But this lady panicked because of that.
Crazy.
Or did she get admitted after we? Yeah. I think she got admitted after she got admitted. Or something like that happened.
Maybe. Okay.
So they were at the same time in the ICU.
They were,
and her brother was seeing outside the hospital all the commotion, and then this lady was freaking out with all the attention.
She was the sitting chief minister.
Yeah, she was the sitting chief minister. Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, I can't even imagine. All these are all news headlines for me.
Yeah, no. We are in and out of those.
Okay, you are the headlines, basically. No. I mean, at least you're near the headlines.
Yeah, close to the headlines.
So, to take about this whole sector, right? What do we name it? Air ambulance or
air ambulance services.
Tourism? Yeah. So, how does the sector look? What is the dynamics of the sector? Say normal medicine. Okay, I think we at least have an understanding. Say cardiology, different other streams. How this air ambulance is defined? Who are the people who come into the sector?
Air ambulance, there is no restriction to a specialty we deal with. So we have a training program, in-house training program, jointly done with the UK helicopter emergency services. It's called KSS HEMS. It's jointly developed by us, and jointly this service, this training program is given for our doctors. And once they complete this training program, they're called aero-medical commandos.
Aero-medical commanders. Commandos.
Yeah, and this training program is also accredited by Jesus University, Mysore.
Oh, Mysore. Okay.
My Jesus University. So this training program involves 1 year training program where 3 modules we train in India. The final module we fly them all to UK, and we train them there on helicopters as well.
Okay.
Even in India, we train them on helicopters. So they're trained from how to survey injury, it's called a primary survey, to how to cut open a chest if there is a bullet or a penetrating puncturing heart, because when a heart is punctured, no matter what you do, it will not recover until you close that heart, because it pump with blood comes out.
Okay.
So we cut open chest in 6 minutes and staple the heart, suture the heart, stop the bleeding and revive the patient. Our doctors and paramedics are taught to that highest level. So this training program is a very intense training program, and if you're even the best cardiac surgeon, you can only operate in your comfort zone. Like you need the same lights, you need the same nurse, you need the same team, because that is the productivity. Standardization is a key in medical world. The more standardized we are, less mistakes we make. But here we are working in totally non-standardized environment. So that's why the training is a very, very, very important thing. Again, up in we're in at 28,000 or 40,000 feet. You can't say, okay, I'll call a cardiologist, I have a problem. So you have to be trained in cardiology, neurology, neurosurgery, respiratory medicine, orthopedics, obstetrician. It could have a pregnant mother. Having said that, we have specialist teams as well. So for a team cardiology, severe heart failure, or one of our one of the top leaders, he was in Gulbarga, he was traveling by car for election campaign. I didn't know about that. He was a politician that time.
Okay.
I was sitting in public TV. No, was it? They had this Ejamani program. Sindhura used to do that. And then they wanted to do the 100th episode with me, and we were having that. And then I got a call at 5:30. So I said, look, I can't stay here. Please excuse me, I need to leave. So this was about this 55-year-old gentleman or 56-year-old. He was traveling by car. He had an accident. His arm had broken. That fixed his arm one day, prior to that, his heart stopped. After surgery next day, his heart stopped. And they were doing CPR. And condolence messages were going around that he's of course your heart stopped means you're dead technically. And we got the call around 5:30, and Gulbarga airport shuts at 5 o'clock. So you can't reach Gulbarga airport. Luckily he was in the hospital and they were doing CPR. And but again, all the other organs starts getting involved. Because there's no blood supply, there's no oxygen. If a heart is not pumping, literally heart was stopped and restarting. They again continuously was having this heart stopping cardiac arrest. So came to office. It was only 15 minutes from here program. 6 o'clock we sent the team left. 8 o'clock a commercial plane to Hyderabad. From Hyderabad, 2:30, drive down to Gulbarga. We put him on the heart bypass machine. That means we created a heart outside his body. That's called ECMO. ECMO, ECMO.
Okay.
And that has happened in around November 11th or sometime. And from being dead, we put him, we revived him, got his heart was not functioning. We created a heart outside his body. Next day morning, we airlifted him to Manipal Hospital. And Jan 26th, he hoisted the flag back to his office.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So from condolence messages to fully back to thing. So we are not just an air ambulance service like a transport. We do a lot of interventions. Interventions, what we do, are only done in some 15 ICUs across India.
Across India,
across
just
India,
15.
or just 15. That kind of a treatment, we take it to remote places. We have done this in Rewa. We have done this in some places like, we have gone, they call us and say this patient is in hospital, especially during COVID time, his lungs fully gone, his saturation 60, please come and initiate an ECMO. And we go there, it's not even a hospital, it's a lodge. It's a lodge.
Okay.
They don't even have lights.
Okay.
So, and when we were bringing this patient in that Rajkot, this happened outside, there were no lights. We had to keep an ambulance, flash the headlights into the doorway, like so that we don't stumble. And there are times when we go and we don't even have lifts. We have to carry the patient on the stairs and come to load them into the ambulance. It's a very challenging, job, because as we don't know what to expect when we go. So we have to be fully prepared, fully trained, fully equipped. We take even a small laboratory machine with us. So we don't even ask the hospitals to do blood tests. We say we do it on our own. So we have been training, and this is why we do debrief. I was telling you because what happened last week could have never happened for us in last 10 years. So something, because every time is a different situation. So we need to prepare for that. Next time we need to have this, including like one patient said, oh, when we are loading into the aircraft, my dad had sunlight falling on his face. That's right. We need to have an umbrella in our kit.
Okay.
So these kind of, even it could be smallest to the biggest. And once like we were transferring a patient on lung bypass from Delhi, and the monitor fell and broke. And we can't carry 2-3 monitors on aircraft because all weight as well.
It's a cabin is
and weight calculation, so important. So from that day, we started keeping a pulse oximeter as a backup.
Okay.
So we have to have a plan A, plan B, plan C for everything. And in hospital, you have your resources are very high. You don't have to worry so much. But when aircraft, again, that has to be taken into consideration. So, yeah. We're not one specialty, we deal with all specialties, coming back to your question. But if it is a newborn baby, we have a separate neonatal team. That is the incubator. It's I think probably India's first. It's a mobile. We can collapse it. It's covered.
Okay.
We collapse it and we can put it in a bag and we can carry it. It's an actual incubator.
Incubator.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which a newborn babies are put, and we are the first air ambulance to use that. So it is like we have to adapt to the situations.
Okay.
We need to have specialist teams.
To become like the air commando.
Flying doctor.
Flying doctor.
Yeah.
So what is the journey like? How long it is going to take, and what is the pre-qualification?
Yeah, pre-qualification, we only choose doctors who are postgraduates in only 3 specialties.
Okay.
So one is emergency medicine, or critical care, or anesthesia.
Okay.
So these are the 3 specialties which like orthopedic surgeon can't become a flying doctor. And so these specialties we choose, and then we train them for further 1 year. So they need to have a basic degree as a post-graduation in one of these 3 specialties.
Got it.
So that is why our quality speaks. That's why we are considered one of the best today in the world.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, so you are prone to like war zones in most affected areas, vulnerable to crazy situations. So do you also get trained in self-defense some way, or like some other thing apart from
the war zone where we are in, I don't think so any self-defense will come, because it's only the bullets that speak. So no amount of
you can't train in firing.
Yeah, no amount of self-defense. We were operating in Chhattisgarh.
Okay.
So during both general elections and assembly elections, we had in Jagdalpur, which is the second most sensitive airport of India, we put a helicopter and a plane there, and we were responding to all the injuries of AK-47, landmine, IED blast, you name it, we responded. So helicopters to go in deep into jungle, like Narayanpur, Sugma, Kanker. We used to enter the jungle, and we used to airlift the CRPF guys and bring them to to Jagdalpur. We resuscitate them, either send them to Raipur or Delhi. So the injuries were grievous. You'll not even be able to look at those injuries. Some people might feel dizzy if they see the entire legs blasted off. Wow. The arms gone, gunshot through liver, going through lungs. Within a week, 16 of them we saved.
Oh, wow.
Within 1 week, that was the first time in a Naxalite region, a private air ambulance with a highly trained medical team. I and my colleague, Dr. Rahul, we both were leading it there. We operated there. People told us, don't be don't wear branded clothes. Like, ICAT uniforms. We have a ICAT uniform. I said, no, don't wear that. You can see that there on the thing. So they said, like, don't wear uniform. People can recognize. Because normally they don't harm the healthcare workers. But we were acting against them here, right? Like, we are not in favor of them. We are like opposite side.
You're saving the
So we were still very vulnerable. Like, so I tell my team, when you go for dinner, only half of you go. If they come and shoot, at least only half team will die, other half will be still survive. So as to say, half of you stay in the room, half of you eat, and then next go. All of us are not going to go sit down and eat together.
Crazy.
So, and I used to tell them no jogging. We had a colonel from Indian Army, like 2 colonels. I'm telling them no jogging, no fitness, whatever you want to do it inside the hotel. So it is risky, but we will mitigate as much risk as possible. We not throw at them. It's like, if they have to do it, they'll do it. But at the same time, no, don't go and stand there outside alone. Like, and again, if you get someone, you're gone, then we don't know where you went. Everyone has to be informed of your movements. You can't go on your own to temples, Gurudwara, or anywhere you want to.
It's almost like getting trained in defense.
Yes.
Like it's almost what you're doing is national defense.
We didn't only fight, that's all.
You're rescuing them, the safety is taken care.
Safety. So, again, they're all like pretty high pressure things, and a lot of questions came from my colleagues and family. Why did you have, not family, like, my family as well. Why did you go? Like, team is there, they'll do, and you don't have to be there on ground to do it. Because when we fly over these jungles, these Naxalites are trained to shoot down helicopters.
Wow.
So it was so easy to target us. That from jungle, one bullet come and you can't
And we never know. It's not like, okay, no, we are sheriff.
And then again, these helicopters are so noisy. Until you crash, you don't know if a bullet has hit you.
Okay.
So it only like when you crash, oh shit,
we are the con.
So that, but it was my dad, like, who was. I was very worried about him. He'll be feeling very scared and all. But he didn't say anything. I was very surprised. Not a word came out of his mouth. Why are you there? And when I was flying back from Hyderabad, Raipur to Jagdalpur to Hyderabad to Bangalore was a flight, commercial, when returning back. So I told my father, heading back to Bangalore, it's all completed and it's successful. He was like, he said, okay, Jopanapa, Osharu, like, safe flight and all. I said, why is he not getting scared?
Please be scared, no?
I asked him, why are you not scared for me? Like, everyone's scared for me.
At least if they are scared, we'll be like, don't be scared. If they are not scared, why are you not scared?
And like, if your own father is not getting scared that you're in such a high risk zone, I was because he'll always be worried about my safety. No matter, even if I'm going by car, he'll say, tell the driver, be careful, drive safely, blah, blah, blah. But here he didn't. That's why I asked him, like, I couldn't resist myself. I asked him, why are you not scared? Everyone's scared for me.
What did he say?
Like, all my friends are blasting me. Why the hell did you go? If something happens to you, what will happen to the company? He said, like, how many people, get an opportunity to do such a work?
Yeah.
Like, in Kannada, we have a word called Sharanange Savilla. So you're doing good work. You're someone's brother, someone's wife, husband, someone's son you're protecting. And you're just not my daughter. You're dedicated to the country. So that's your job.
Amazing perception. Like, it's good to read on books, but like when we see that in real life.
He said that and you just literally thought, my goodness, what I need to achieve to his level to think, like, in terms of accepting that fact she might die, but at the same time, she's not just my daughter.
Exactly.
And if she doesn't do it, who else can do it? Like,
That's, I think, for me, saint level of thinking.
And this world of nepotism, where I give all the things, you have to be in power. So it was very touching when he said that. I just thought, like, oh, what a noble thing, like, to say.
Yeah. Because since you said all this, I want to, take you back a little. Like, say, forget doctor, forget ICAT. Shalini, 15 years old. What was she thinking? Like, how was she seeing life? Did she predict that this is how it is going to be? This is the adventure that I'm going to pursue? Or like, what was the perception on life?
See, when I was 15, didn't even know a concept of air ambulance exists, right? But I was very, what I would say, brought up. I'm the first graduate in the family, woman graduate.
Wow, okay.
So I've come from Mandya, and it's a pretty conservative place, and my mom as well, she has been brought up very conservatively, and her grandmother were all from royal families, so they had like a parda system, and that woman going out and going to college, and although they were all very educated, she went to Maharanis, but again they had a lot of restrictions in terms of doing this. And my life was similar. Like I was not allowed to take part in sports. 4:30 school ends, 4:35 to be home. Very, very strict bringing up. What I wear was regulated. Who I talked to was regulated. Everything. It was like people used to call, you live in a fort. My house is like literally a fort. As we grew up, the walls also grew up. They used to tease, like, your fort used to grow every year. Like, okay, she's this one, this fort grew. Nobody could see what is happening. And not this one. But I used to read a lot. My dad's friend used to be the library, some chief, and I used to ask him, can you get me books on Marxism? Can you get me these books? I was very, very, and my aim was to do UPSC and get into administration. Yeah, that was my aim, like not being a doctor. Although from the day I was born, it was ingrained into my brain that she'll become a doctor. So my grandparents, both sides,
was patterned.
Like they was like she nothing that there was not given any other thing, because I was good at studies as well. So I was like a prodigy, and I used to read newspaper when I was 3-year-old. A Hindu newspaper. I used to sit and read it in front of the entire village. Our village is 10 kilometers from Mandya, Chikmulgud. So I used to, and we had buses. So whatever English I speak, they used to record it and play on the buses to all the people. So they were like, I was like a wonder kid at that time. So I grew up like a wonder kid.
3 years old is like very new.
I know, to read Hindu newspaper, not even Hindu. They have the most difficult newspaper, right? Among all the other English newspapers. And then, so in 15, I was like very, very strong about getting into this. And I used to read every single magazine, from Sports Star to Reader's Digest. I used to sit and solve the question papers for UPSC, Reader's Digest, you sample
all
question
when you
papers.
Were a kid.
Yeah, I was like 13, 14, I started preparing because I had made up my mind. But unfortunately, when I was 16, somebody sent a marriage proposal. So I thought, oh shit, they're going to get me married. Let me choose medicine. At least I have that period for 5 years. No one can.
Okay, so you took up medicine so that MBBS is 5 years.
For 5 years, and then no one can really come and disturb my studies.
Perspective.
Yeah, but then once you get into medicine, you get so focused on learning to like your undergraduation, then post-graduation, and there's no limit to learn in, and you always think, I can do this better, I need to learn this, I don't know this. You're never satisfied as a doctor, because there's nothing, you can never a time then you say, hey, I know everything, I'm a genius. There's always something you don't know. Every day that it's this field changes so much, and you can't, if you don't keep up yourself, then you always feel left behind, and you compromise your care as well. So that, your focus goes, and I went to UK to do my post-graduation and things like that. So,
but how, like Mandya to, like, I think you were been in Ireland as well?
Yeah, I trained in Northern Ireland, which is UK.
Basically.
Yeah. So, but one of the best deanery, we call them. So here we call them colleges, they call them deaneries there.
Okay.
So we train and work and do exams, and then we get your degrees. So fellowship in anesthesia is one of the toughest exams in the world to pass.
Is it?
Yeah, it is one of the toughest, because you need to know how your MRI machine works. If someone dismantles the MRI machine, you need to put it back. It's that you have a physics textbook in anesthesia. We have to learn how a probe works, how a monitor works, how a defibrillator works. We need to know the physics behind it, and how that every component of that machine. We have to draw the entire diagram of how this machine is set up.
Okay, my brain, when you say anesthesia, it's like, the doctor who gives the anesthesia, we have to gone.
Everything from cardiac thoracic surgery to gynecology. That's how, like, probably it's easy for us in this field, because we understand all the specialties.
Okay.
So that's why we take the anesthetists to be on board as well. So it is a very tough exam. I was lucky to pass that.
Okay. So I think like there you were in cardiac CPR. How does this, the CPR thing came? I think I have read something on like you did the largest number of CPR here.
Yes, we have a world record,
Yeah, Guinness record, I guess. No?
It's a World Book of Records.
World Books of
London, Guinness, because this all happens through foundation. It's a free program. 65,000 people we are trained free of cost. If you want to get this training program private, it's 5,000 to 8,000 rupees. Some organization charge 15,000 rupees.
To get trained on CPR?
Yeah, do a CPR, get it trained. Say, we do it free of cost. 65,000 people. I could have bought 2 planes.
Okay.
Even if I charge 2,000 rupees.
But how does that relationship come?
But during COVID crisis and things were happening, so this Sharana Samskriti Utsava was happening in Chitradurga. And Chitradurga MLC is very close to a family, Mr. Naveen. His sister died of a cardiac arrest. And then he asked me, could I have saved my sister? She was just making dosa, she collapsed and arrested. So he asked me, could you have, was there a possibility, anything we could have done? I said, yeah, 50% chances if someone had done a CPR.
Okay.
So we said, like, fine. Then he asked me, like, how do we train people in CPR? I said, we need these mannequins and this. So we said, we have a Sharani Samskriti Utsava and I'm heading it. Can we do this there? You have no idea. Like, sometimes blessings come from somewhere we don't even expect. So I wanted mannequins and I knew it's going to be large number of people. He said, like, there'll be many people we need to learn. I said, like, oh my God, we need mannequins. So I started phoning around in India. We need mannequins. Hardly entire India we could find 20-25 mannequins. And I said, yeah. Yeah, that's all. Like, every hospital has 1 or 2, that's it.
Okay.
And that point available for us were only 25. And it was thick COVID period as well. And even now, if you say, it's not that everyone has, like, mannequins are not that many. See, every hospital, some of the hospitals don't even keep them because they get trainers to come and do training. So I got in touch with American Heart Association. Because they are the ones who certify these training programs, I asked them, look, we need CPR mannequins. Do you have them? They asked me, how many you need? I said, like, what is a weird question, how many you need? I said, maybe, how many can you give? I didn't commit. How many can you give? We can give quite a few, but how many do you need? I said, I just threw a number. I need 100. They said, okay. I said, oh, wow, 100, where are they getting it from? It's not in India, like, Then slowly, as I speak, it came out that they had 1,000 mannequins.
Oh.
All of them stuck in Chennai port.
Chennai? Okay.
Because they were all sent by America.
Okay, they were importing.
Yeah, and then they got stuck and they were not getting the clearance. And Chennai port were like, we'll throw it away.
Oh, no.
You can't store it for long. And the customs was more expensive to get that cleared than the mannequins.
Understood.
Custom duty was very high, import duty. So fortunately, I have good set of friends in IRS and thing. So I spoke to a few of them and I said, please get me waived off these charges. Went back to the American Heart Association. I said, I'll get this waived off. You don't have a place to store this. Can you give it to me? All 1,000.
Okay.
They said yes.
You got all 1,000?
All 1,000. That's why we were able to do this mass training program.
Okay.
So at once we can train 1,000 people. Even the company manufacturing, like, lateral company, even they don't own at any given point of 1,000 mannequins. They don't even manufacture 1,000 mannequins at once. So I was so like serious, such a blessing. Because once we got that, we trained 28,000 people in one single day and made a world record. We trained 4,500. Other than this, 4,500 trainers we trained.
Trainers?
So first we did training of the trainers, 4,500. We gave them all T-shirts. We got a funding from blockchain guys because they were funding a lot of projects for ICAT Foundation, which I'm the chairman. And then we ran a campaign called COVID India campaign. We had like very good volunteers from IIT. Mr. Swadeep Pillarisity was my co-founder for the COVID India campaign. We ran all this and then so we got funding from them. We put that funding. So first 3 days weekend we did training of the trainers with doctors, nurses, pharmacists, teachers. So we got the groups like morning 1,000, afternoon 1,000. So we trained in total 4,500. In that pool, we chose 1,000 people to be trained, like to go out on the community. So on one single day, we deployed nearly 100 buses to 200 locations. Of course, we had Mr. Naveen's support there, and they halted the midterm exam for people to learn this training program as they sent out a notice from the district education officer, DDPI, I think. And they stopped the exams to get the children and the college students trained. And we started at 10 o'clock. And engineering college there was converted to be a bus stand. All the buses came, and we briefed the trainers. We put them on the buses. We sent them out to different 200 locations, and from 200 locations with mannequins, and they trained all these school and colleges. And 28,000 in one single day we trained. That is a world record.
Crazy.
And the other world record is training Bangalore police. 2,700 Bangalore police we trained in just 2 hours, including our Honorable Health Minister Dinesh Gundu Rao ji and Dayanand ji, who was the Bangalore Commissioner at that time. Even they both got trained along with their IPS officers. So in Kantirava Stadium, within 2 hours, 1,000 police, another 2,000, like men in uniform to be trained in just 2 hours, 2,000 of them. Again, another world record.
You don't do anything small, is it? See, the business, I can't even imagine. See, because I come from a background where we, analyze a business, understand the unit economics, teach to people on how to replicate a business. No, I'm not able to understand, comprehend how do I replicate this. So, example, say you want to tell to somebody that, okay, you can also start an air ambulance. So, what is the blueprint that you will give, or like how do you, create a competition? I don't think that there will be a competition. You should only create one. So how it is going to be? So somebody wants to start an air ambulance. Okay. So they are also from a medical field. Like, what is the blueprint that you will give them?
Please don't start in India.
Please don't. Okay.
Don't go
Disclaimer.
to Dubai. Don't go to the. No, I'm just joking, because competition is always good. And again, it is integration of both highly sensitive fields. One is aviation, other one is critical care medicine. Because patients who airlift, probably they're the sickest person in the country at this point of time when we airlift. So, so they need to know both the field. Today I can speak aviation as much as I can speak my medicine. And it doesn't come to you overnight. It is a lot of grinding and understanding the process, procedures. We do almost all the organ airlifts we do in India. In fact, we put the guidelines and protocols for the organ airlift in India.
Okay.
So the dots were never connected before, because families didn't know how to contact aviation. Hospitals didn't want to take the risk, and they all was totally disintegrated. Literally 90% of the organs used to go waste, which were fit to be implanted. Since we came, touch wood, not a single organ we have wasted, whichever it has come through our door. And it's a very, very diligent operation. It is so more than a military precision, I would say, because one small mistake or a missing chain that the link falls apart, entire thing will go, because it is life's involved, organ, a very precious organ involved. Family stake is involved in terms of economic, correct. Money is involved, and then the different stakeholders, and 11 stakeholders when organ happens. So there will be a police, there will ambulance, the transplant hospital, then harvesting hospital where the organ is coming up, and the family of that person and the recipient family, then the ground ambulances, then the ground handlers. Sometimes we do green corridors. And then the transplant surgeons, coordinators, and a finance team. Everyone has to align to get one transfer. We do 80 minutes from theatre door of Hyderabad to Chennai theatre door, 80 minutes theatre door. That includes the road journey and the flying time. Everything included we do in 80 minutes.
80 minutes?
80 minutes. And the work, what goes behind is 8 hours to make that 80 minutes happen.
Wow, fascinating.
Because heart is something called a cold ischemic time. So it can be outside the body only for 4 hours.
Okay.
So we don't say 4 hours, we say 240 minutes. And so in that 240 minutes, the organ has to be taken out and transplanted into some person receiving.
Okay.
It's extremely high pressure. Your brain will explode sometimes, because the elements, dynamicity of this entire thing, weather can change. There was an organ when we airlifted from Madurai. We had 4 planes that night. 4 planes were activated for one organ. One to take the team, one to take the thing, one as a standby aircraft. Of course, we're doing it for one of the VIPs. Not everyone can afford it. But again, what is the value in front of life? Like, that person is gone, then all your property and doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make sense,
So, that family said, like, we need a standby aircraft, and we had a heart and lung, and the standby aircraft took off before the real aircraft, which was carrying the organ. So we had to pull that aircraft back from the
Not you,
ATC.
not you, not you.
Come back. You're standby. Let this take off.
Okay.
So, yeah, it takes a lot of hard work, determination, grit.
So you're saying that nobody can replicate
I don't
it.
know.
That's summing up.
You need to put your heart and soul into this, and it's not a profession; it's a lifestyle.
Understood. Yeah.
You have to understand that there is
see.
no leave, there's no holiday, there's no day, there's no night. You have to be extremely committed. Like, I have a very, very committed team.
Yeah, I was about to ask that. Like,
Yeah.
how do you handpick the team? How the team aligns there?
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, like if you lose it somewhere emotionally, your team, it's going to be a ripple effect.
Yes.
So how do you handpick the team, maintain that the team?
Yeah.
Come on, boys. This is how you have to do.
One is a tough course of training, but that is for the doctors and paramedics. But we have a lot of operations staff and managerial staff and CEO, CO. Like, one thing when we interview, like particularly what qualities I ask them, and I want only two things from you: loyalty and hard work. Rest, we will train you. If you don't have these two things, please don't even consider working with us, because it is hard work, but it is extremely rewarding, because every patient transfer you complete, one life you're saved.
Absolutely.
And how many people, like, not being a doctor, get an opportunity to save life, right? And that person's family's future, astrology or whatever you call, horoscope is in your hand, because you are directly involved in making that patient reach safe. It could be a pilot, it could be an air operator, it could be a ground handler, anyone, it could be anyone. But that there are element in saving that life. They're one of the part in that. It's not just the doctors and paramedics, the whole system it gets involved. So do you have the stamina? Do you have that instinct to be in this service? And then you come in. If you don't have, just don't come in. And until today, sacked only 2 people.
Oh.
Only 2 people sacked.
Oh, my God.
One was a severe breach, and that you couldn't have tolerated, that you would compromise the company for that breach. The other person was extreme laziness. Like, even
laziness.
Like, extreme, like in the sense, like, come to office. Like, sit there the entire day, 100 things are happening, you don't want to open your eyes. I feel cold, I feel like, boss, you're not fit to this, because we are in front of you sitting and breaking our heads into pieces and getting things done. You say, I feel cold and things like that. So it's not for you. It doesn't suit your character, personality.
Out of all these, like, there will be some transit that you did which is like memorable, like I can't forget this, or probably the person was special, or probably the entire journey was crucial. So is there something like that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people know about this. I mean, if someone knows about ICAT, they, especially in Karnataka region, they know, like, we did this transfer. This was airlifting or flying the walking god, Namma Siddhganga Shrigalu. So, what I would say, that is the best transfer of my life, because that was the most blessed transfer. Since my childhood, all I've seen Swamiji as our, we worship him. Every major functions, Grah Pravesha, Swamiji came for puja, we did Path Puja. Wow. In fact, one of his last house visits was to our house, where he walked in without even announcing. Okay. None of us knew he was going to come. He just came in. It was Jan 1st. Amazing. He was going to PM Modiji's program to Mysore. On his way from Tumkur, he just asked the driver, turn the car towards Mandi, Nagarajapur, Nadiri. He just came in, unexpected, without a thing. And that was, it was like, he never used to go to anywhere. He stopped going to pujas and all, because they were pretty, because of his age factors and things like that. So for us, he was literally a god. And when got this call to airlift Swamiji from Tumkur to Chennai Railway Hospital, first it didn't really kind of strike that it's going to happen, because it was only assessment stage. So I joined the Chennai Railway team from airport here, and we all went together, because some of them I knew. went to MUT, and there was a discussion, intense discussion among the doctors. Chennai Rail team assessed, and then there were other people from the MUT administration who were there. A lot of people from government were also there. So they were all discussing, should we go ahead with the treatment or not? First, that decision had to be taken. So I was just observing the discussion and understanding the clinical situation there. Then at 10 o'clock, all focused on me. Yes, let's go ahead. We'll do the transfer. And it was 10 at night. We can't use any aircraft for Swamiji. It has to be the best in India. I don't know, people think, why did he not get Bharat Ratna? He's not a Bharat Ratna, he's a Ratna for the entire world, something beyond that, right?
Awards cannot restrict.
No, he's beyond any award. Anything you give him is not going to be sufficient. So I was like, right, 10 o'clock, there are no aircrafts in entire south. Nothing in Mumbai. The only aircraft that is a twin-engine jet, which will be the shortest time to transfer him. Otherwise, all will take long. And again, it has to be twin-engine. It can't take a risk with a single engine. Is not a VIP, is something above VIP, and the number of people watching this and the thing they carry for him in their heart, you can't let anyone down. And so it has to be more than perfect. So I said, decided to get this aircraft from Delhi. And then within, they said transfer is tomorrow morning 10 o'clock. Within 12 hours to mobilize this aircraft from Delhi is it normally takes 24 hours it is to get any aircraft. But got the aircraft mobilized, and it's stationed in HAL airport. So as a morning did all the assessment, everyone were there, our Yediyurappa ji and everybody, all the state leaders were there. Looking at them itself is pretty although know them closely, but still it's a bit of it shows the gravity of the situation. And every Swamiji from all MUT were there. And it was kind of a very overwhelming situation. And because you're that entire responsibility on only you to take him safely to Chennai. It's not just going by road ambulance or going to a hospital or in hospital treating, because in hospital there are many people who will distribute the responsibility. So here it is sole your responsibility. So assess the Swamiji, put all the monitors and whatever the minimal we could without disturbing him. And then about to leave this one, our Siddling Shri Garu, who is the present Swamiji, he had tears in his eyes. He said, Jopanava, Ushara Bartiralva. That is the moment you lose it, your heart sinks. If someone at that stature can be emotional, what is the weight you're carrying on your shoulders? What, is such a huge responsibility. I said, he's never flown before. That was his first time on the plane, and you don't know how this is going to turn. And he's not like any normal patient. If you're a normal patient, if they are, I'm trained, we have trained in geriatrics, how to handle a patient in geriatrics or elderly patients. What are the things you need to understand, or how their heart works, how their lungs work, how their brain works. You have the training, that's what we trained. It's not that something which I don't know how to do, but at the same time, I come out media madam, opinion, what's your opinion? I said, I have no opinion for God. If he was if he was a normal person, I would have given you the opinion, is this 111, this is the thing, these are risks. But I don't know what is his spiritual age, what is he capable. So I said, I don't know, I can't give an opinion on God. So just let me do my job and I'll do my best. And okay, that is over. I come out, 10,000 children standing and screaming and crying. I said, I don't know where I'm going now. It is not an easy situation to responsible for 10,000 tears.
Exactly.
And then again, as a blessing, my father called me and he said, God is with you, what are you scared of? He said, when God is with you, what can happen? What's the worst that can happen? So I said, okay, that is another strength. So in 40 minutes, we came to HAL airport. In 20 minutes, we landed in Chennai. Literally in 60 minutes, we did this transfer. 60 minutes. That to Tumkur Mutt door. We had a green corridor, and of course, the media was closing in like this, and people lined up the entire road from Tumkur to Bangalore. There were people standing on the street. Everything was in direct relay. Even if you move, you were captured on the camera. Non-stop, not one channel, right? Every channel covered it. It was a very high pressure, and pressure was carrying the god. So even when we landed there, we walked into hospital. Swamiji said, I want to walk. I was like, you can't walk, like you are a patient. But he said, no, I want to walk. And that flooring is brand new, marble flooring. Like I took his padke, I held in my hand, and I walked behind him every step, that if he slips or if he feels dizzy, he's a patient, right? It was not like just we went there on this one. So we took a wheelchair, walked right behind him in case if he just any disturbance I can get. While going on plane, the entire plane covered with kavi, so that it shouldn't disturb him, that he should feel comfortable, and his favorite shishya was made to sit right in front of him. We all moved a little back so that he doesn't get confused, where am I? So he used to open his eyes and ask. And this guy used to look at me. I used to say 20, 2. So he used to say, Ipat maili Swamiji. So 20 minutes, so it's like 20 things. So we used to convert that into miles. And then, so we went inside hospital, and that it was quite far, because for inside the hospital they'd given a bit of a privacy. The huge floor was given. And next thing we do is we hand over to the Rela team. I handed over, they said, okay, we'll take the observation. So Swamiji said, nothing doing. I want to have bath and puja. We were like, oh my God. What did the entire Rela team looked at me. I said, you can't overrule him. Just listen. I've been listening all this while. And so that was and again to take him back as well, right? From Chennai back to Bangalore. Literally, I dreamt about him every night until I completed the transfer. Yeah, this is the highest reward I could ever ask for. I mean, you saw quite a few of them there, but I think even is better than a Nobel Prize for anyone. That is a blessing that you can never ever forget. Amazing. Never ever go out. So there's nothing I can achieve better than that. So that's my most memorable.
It's huge,
It is huge, yeah. It's not just for me, for my entire family, who we have worshipped, that I got to serve him. So that is crazy. Yeah.
So when you say family, I just want to, just little touch base there. So how important, of course, family is very important in every walks, in every career, any small career that we do, family support is crucial. But the adventure that you are, going through, you're pursuing, and you're going into, war-inflected zones. And how does the family come into picture, especially your partner, especially, your kids? Yeah. Of course, dad will be like, I am a superhero, I'm a father, because all dads are like, I'm a superhero.
Yeah. No, I think the parents are the one who are most sensitive about this. Because to lose a child is the severe form of pain for anyone. But I have an excellent support, quietly or with love, whatever. All they do is just bless me, that whatever I do is goes well. And they have understood that there's nothing more. They can't help me in anything. They can't come and do the operations. They can't come and airlift a patient. So it's not that I can draw I draw the strength from them, and I appreciate all their patience. And also whatever I take up, they'll just keep quiet and give me that freedom to do stuff in my own way of making decisions, taking it up. Is everything going well? What patients did you fly? This is all I get asked. But yeah, that silent support is such an important thing. As I was telling you when we went to Chhattisgarh, and if my father had panicked and said, why are you there? Where did you go? What are you doing? If they get into this, and you lose your focus and that moral support, what you should get, you lose it. So that's what I was panicking. Why is he not panicking about me? So then that makes you look at the things, the strength you draw is unbelievable.
How do you balance?
That is like a safety network for you. No matter where you are, the blessings are there.
do you balance? Do you like, are you able to find some time? Like, I know it's very tough. Of course, you're on a national duty as well to put, or maybe not just restricted to nation. I think beyond. It's like a human duty to put it into words. So how do you give time? Like, how do you manage to be available as well? If not physically, at least morally.
I don't know, if I'm home, I don't watch TV, I don't socialize too much, I have very, very small knit of friends. Literally, I can finger count one or two, three. I have a lot of people I know, but if I have to socialize, they're literally three or four, that's it. And it happens like once in a month or sometimes, once in a month maybe. Other than that, I have no other distraction. I don't, as I said, I don't do anything else. I don't have a hobby, to be honest. And other than this, there's nothing else. So when I'm home, my entire time is dedicated to family.
Great.
So because I don't have any other distraction, probably I give more quality time than a lot of people who they're just there at home,
Just
but they're
being
not
there
there.
and not there, yeah.
They're not there. So I don't as I said, there's no other hobby. I like a bit of a cooking when I get time to do it. So a lot of times I don't even know what I bring. I just eat like sometimes. And I would love to cook. That's one thing I like. Other than that, there is nothing, no other hobby I have. So,
it's good to actually, hear the term "I love to cook" because, I think we have come a little far. I mean, the empowerment has come a little far. I mean, not the empowerment, at least the, equity and what you have supposed to do. Because you are supposed to cook to "I love to cook" is a good evolution in my perspective.
yeah,
I think.
I know. I used to be supposed to cook when I was in the UK, and a lot of years I have to cook. There's no other way. You have to feed the family. You have to cook all 3 meals. And from now to you can't be everywhere. So if you're cooking all the time, then somebody has to do this job, and the responsibility is heavy. So that again, there's always a balance, as you said.
That's really good that cooking is a hobby now, not a duty.
Absolutely, I'm blessed for that. Yeah.
So you have been in the UK, right? Like, of course, now you have established in Dubai as well. But why specifically Bangalore? And you are from Mandya. Why Bangalore? Probably for ICAT specifically. Is it the topography, the economy, the geography? Why Bangalore?
Bangalore is aviation capital. You see, we have 5 airports, and Chennai has got only 1 airport. And then we have HAL here, we have NAL here. In fact, we are HAL through NG helicopter, the civilian version which is launched recently. We are converting into an air ambulance. So that is going to be used for Karnataka to airlift patients for free of cost.
Wow.
And
Free of cost.
Yeah, free of cost. Hopefully, it's still a lot of the discussions are going on. And we did this in Madhya Pradesh. We airlifted patients fully free of cost. The kind of patients we airlifted, they never sat in a car before. We were airlift, we're going right into rural areas, dense villages. We used to pick up a patient, like a farmer ran over by a tractor, policeman shot by a gunda. These guys could never afford even coming to district headquarters and get treated. But we were going them, airlifting them, stabilizing them, bringing them to district hospitals, or to Bhopal. So it is called PM Shri Air Ambulance Seva. Again, first of its kind in India. And because of a Chhattisgarh operation, Mohan Yadavji, Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, he saw that work and he said, we want this service in Madhya Pradesh. So we did this entire 1 year. We airlifted lots of patients free of cost. Why Bangalore? Well, I'm from Bangalore, and why should I not? Why should not? It's from India, and it's my city, and it's aviation capital. We have the best healthcare system, and a lot of patients from north come to Bangalore for treatment. Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai are the medical hubs. And more than anything, where I live is the capital, where I need to establish my thing.
So you have traveled and learned from many countries as such. So what is that culture, or what is that India has learned from all these other countries? Probably, pick a page from their book.
In healthcare, a lot of things are picked up from, because health is a universal phenomenon, right? So, and we have the same guidelines we follow across the world, a lot of them, especially with the globalization and a lot of these big chains coming in here to India. Colombia Asia, and they're all they're all Malaysian chains. And again, a lot of doctors who are come back to India like me, there are a lot of from America, a lot of UK. They're bringing in all their ethos, principles, guidelines. So when they come, they also import all their knowledge as well, and they're standardizing the healthcare, standardizing the treatment, following the best evidence practice. I think that's the one thing which I think when people return back, they bring along with them the best care.
You start a business. Of course, you're a doctor, you have trained in different other things, but whatever it is, it's a business to start, right? So any business that needs a capital, that needs a particular, registration, so and so, proper business procedure. So what is that capital? I heard that you bootstrapped it.
Yeah, even
So
today it's the bootstrap. We don't have any outside investor.
again, when I say that it's huge,
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
how did you bootstrap such a big, aircrafts, you're leasing out, I think helicopters?
Yeah, so we started very organically. The biggest mistake you do in aviation is from day one you go and get some 10 aircraft because some investor pumps in money. That's the worst mistake. If you look at the track record of all the aviation companies that have gone down, it's because of the huge capital intense investments they made.
Okay.
If you look at Indigo, they're very smart. They lease aircrafts. So one of their own companies buy and they lease it. So that risk is of a company owning the aircraft is kind of at least you should own, because when you own the aircraft, the margins are huge than leasing. Leasing is like you're making money for someone else. But when you begin, you have to always begin humble and small and grow organically. There is no fast track solution to success. If you and work hard day and night, you have to give yourself to that. So here what we did, like when we started working, when we started this ICAT 2017, 2016, when we sensitized some of the hospitals and where we got the money to do that, even that, work in the UK for 1 week, all that money, bring and put it in UK.
Pumped in
Three weeks. So it was like money, work there, all that money put in here.
Okay.
That's where it started getting the equipments, started building the team, started meeting all the hospitals, aviation sector. We also kind of tried to do a market research, but there was no market. What market research
Exactly.
can we do?
Nobody's there. No.
Exactly, but there was a need. Even today, need. So in Germany, per million, per 0.8 million, one helicopter is there. In India, we of course, we are using a lot of fixed wing planes here, but doing emergency free air ambulance, which is called HEMS, Helicopter Emergency Medical Services, we hardly have one or two. So India is like 1 per million is we have how many we have billion, 1.3 billion, so 1.4. We should technically have 1,400 helicopters flying, only rescuing patients. If we want to reduce the road traffic accident, trauma, medical emergencies. Road traffic accident, every 4 minutes is a death on Indian road. Every 4, that's a 3% GDP loss. So if you look at the loss and the aircrafts we need to rescue people, it is minuscule actually. So people think this is an expensive service. Actually, it is not even a burden. It's going to be the most essential service, which we are 30 years behind.
30 years
behind in this emergency pre-hospital care. So we have grown stepwise. We come here. Even today, we have no outside investment. We have no huge loans. Again, what we have is some working capital. That's it. That is because we have high turnover. We need 4 international transfers, 10 crores is this one. So we need until that money comes into account, and so we need a bit of a working capital or a overdraft. That's what we call. No, so not working capital, overdraft. That's it. Of course, we are planning to expand and in terms of building a bigger fleet and things like that, we will require investment. But until this concept is clear, until the business is established, we didn't take anything because we thought it's someone else's money. Investors' money is also someone's money, right? It's not, we should never experiment with someone's money. So
my brain, of course, we don't have a couple of small businesses that we have done. So it's always thinking how much money I have put, what is the ROI, when did I reach the break even? Yeah. It's thinking in that pattern for me. So to me, can you, give a basic figure or maybe a margin, if not the actual capital on this is how I put, this is how much it took for me, or the break even, just to understand how it works.
See, there was nothing called a break even in our business because every money we put in, we were equally doing the transfers. We not had one single year of loss.
Oh, is it?
So if you're putting money, we do 10 transfers. We do
Okay.
like next year 20 transfers, next year 200 transfers. So whatever we only invested what the money is coming back in. So there is no like,
You have never been in loss?
never been in loss from the day we
Okay.
started. So there was like whatever comes is return, because there's no this one we are put in. Because again, like we are going into leasing and chartering models. We are not we are not putting the capital in to take it back.
Understood.
So today, like human resources is one of your biggest capital.
Correct.
Which we have invested, and we are, as per the business grows, we are investing. So if I know I'm going to expand into Dubai, this is the opportunity, this many people think we need, this is the money we need, okay, this is the money we are going to put in there, and we are putting this system, and that comes back. And in leasing, one of the things, the beauty of leasing in India and across is like, we have 1 month notice period, you can return the aircraft back. Of course, we have to put a deposit, and also expensive. It's very expensive to lease aircraft than own an aircraft, because neither the asset is yours, you're paying huge amount. But since we have grown the business, we get around 2,500 calls a year for air ambulance. So we have grown, that's the reason what I meant organically. So we have built the system as our business also grew. But there's a huge, like as you said, like you didn't know we exist and the air ambulance. So people like you should know. For that, we need to do brand building, because it is service which everyone should know. It's awareness is very important. So of course, there's a lot to do, and we will get there.
So lastly, I want to ask one thing. Like, now we got an overview of the holistic picture of how it looks. Like, how do you see, like, not just ICAT, like the entire ambulance thing as a future in India as such? Like, how do you want it to grow? What is the steps?
No one should be left behind. And health is a fundamental right of everyone. No one should die of a road traffic accident where their life should have been saved purely because of a failure to respond by a right vehicle and right manner. Air ambulance services, helicopters and planes is a very established service in the West. As I said, like we're 35 years behind in this service, and lives are as precious as you live in the UK, your life is precious, not that you're in India, your life is not precious. So every life is precious, and one life goes, there's a effect on the entire generation of that person, because they can't educate their children and a lot of things happen. So 3% GDP loss is only a figure, but if you look at the entire picture, it's much bigger, the loss. And as I said, life is priceless. So India, like, today we are integrating even eVTOLs. We are signed up for 788 electric vertical takeoff and landing planes with the e-plane company called Ubi Fly, which is based out of IIT Madras. Prof. Satya heads that. So 788 number is one per district, which is going to revolutionize rural healthcare. For example, if there is a mother and a pregnant woman and she has a medical emergency, she has to come from Malwali to Mandya. The load journey and things like that will take so much time. And if there's an accident, coming to Victoria Trauma Center from Malwali, it will take 6 hours, because they go to a primary, first healthcare, then the district, so all these things, like, we need to bypass that mechanism, get the right patient to the right hospital at right time. So the two parts to this, one is skill, the other one is speed. Integrating this is what we're doing now, and every Indian and no Indian should die of a non-availability of the right speed and right skill set. So this is the vision where Indian skies are covered with these electric, eVTOLs or drones, airlifting organs, helicopters, airlifting patients, rescuing. It could be a farmer, it could be a dad on a bike going to an industry. No one should be left behind on the road to die. So this is the dream, this is the vision of covering the skies, and the sky is not the limit when it comes to saving lives. So this is what the ethos and dream is about. And of course, the world is our market. So there's no limit to where we can operate. So we have flown into Africa, America, Australia, Canada, no region that we are not touched. So we would like to expand our business to the entire globe with very high standards.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.